Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel, Making Sense of Credit. I am Tony Hill. I'm a personal and small business credit coach. Welcome. If this is your first time to my channel, thanks for being here today. And if you're not a subscriber, before I jump in, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Also, if you like the information, please like it and hit the notification bell for upcoming content. Make a comment if you feel like it, or if you choose so, and then most of all, share it with your friends and family if you think this information can benefit them. So once again, 2020, here we go. So yeah, I'm trying to crank out as many videos as I can that I can share with you folks that I come across on a daily basis with me doing this whole credit thing and being a big part of my life for the last 35 years. I want to share something with you. Before I do that, hey, this is not my music and playing in the background. It's a little jazz station. I don't want to get sued by anybody. So anyway, look, one of my clients, actually future clients, called me and said, "Hey, Tony, you know, first of all, I'm trying to buy a car, and I went on Credit Karma, and my scores were this and this and this." And I said, "Okay, that's fine." I said, "But do you have your actual FICO scores? Because that's what's important." Look, I'm not here to bash Credit Karma. It's a really great educational tool, so you can keep up with your credit. Keep your utilization down, keep an eye on things. You can dispute things. Direct dispute with Transunion, but you can't direct dispute with Equifax. It just takes you to the Equifax site, which you can do yourself, and then you do your dispute. Also, one thing about even the Transunion dispute, let me just drop this while I'm passing by, that is remember that even on their website, it says you can do a direct dispute, but it may not transmit. There may be an error in transmission, which then they will send you something in the mail. You can see that right there on their site. So my thing is, why even do a direct dispute through Credit Karma? It doesn't make sense, right? Just go to TransUnion and do your dispute. So that's one of my things about Credit Karma. And once again, it is a good free educational tool. But you know what? If you want to be accurate, get your FICO scores, know your FICO scores, sign up for a monitoring service. I know people are sometimes on a tight budget, and I understand that. But every once in a while, even if you do it, and I would say if you're on a tight budget, but if you can spend $50 a year checking your credit with your FICO scores, you can go on Experian.com, that's my favorite, or my FICO score. You can generally spend about $50, get a tri-merge, all three. I like Experian.com because you can do, of course, Experian Boost for free. You can get your credit report for free and your credit score for free, and then just add TransUnion and Equifax. So you guys know how I always harp on Experian. But anyway, make a long story short, she came to me and said, "I want to buy a car. My scores are this." I said, "Well, go to FICO and check your scores." Well, anyway, after I got her on Experience, she looked them up. And sorry about this. And I am being safe, even though I'm driving, guys. I know a couple of you guys, especially the ladies, said be safe. I am, I promise you. But the thing about it is that both the Equifax and TransUnion, her scores were on Equifax. It was 59 points better, and on TransUnion it was 60 points better with her FICO scores versus Credit Karma. And guys, you gotta realize Credit Karma uses different algorithms than FICO. Look, Credit Karma uses Vantage 3.0 scores. That's what the scores are called, Vantage 3.0. And FICO scores are totally different. the algorithm is different. Some things on Credit Karma are weighed differently than on FICO. So two different algorithms. So but out of any cases, you have to check and make sure that it's accurate, because they always say 90% of the banks use FICO scores. Well, that's bullcrap. 100% of the banks use FICO scores. What I found out in doing a lot of research was that they said over 3 billion of banks have used credit, Vantage scores. Well, yeah, typically after they give you a loan, the banks, they save money by having Vantage scores to check and see if you're still keeping up with your obligations, and it's a way for them to kind of skirt the fact that they can have to pay for FICO scores because FICO is not free, right? So they're saying all the usage that they claim to fame is basically educational, or a lot of the banks are using them to check on clients after they have extended credit to the clients, to the customers like you and me. So I don't buy that 90% of the banks. It's more like 100. I'm very sure of that. If you do have a bank that solely use Vantage 3.0 scores, please hit me up, drop me a comment. So anyway, but look, it's just a valuable lesson that, the big difference, 59 points on Equifax, 60 points on Transunion. But, she was actually, make a long story short, I just wanted to drop that to you about Credit Karma. Also, while I'm thinking about it, let me drop this, because this is top of my head, it's not scripted. But another thing about Credit Karma is that a lot of times, because their scores are inaccurate, it'll put you in a poor category when you're applying for different things, especially credit cards. Like when I looked at her info, it put her up as like an Indigo card, which is I'm not a big fan of the card, because I'm not a fan of any cards that have these $89 or $99 fees, and there are a lot of them out there, right? The only reason I refer you guys to Credit One is because, number one, with Credit One, I like the fact that the fee is $75 to $99. But the thing about it is that they typically give you generous credit line increases. I've seen 300 in 3 months. I've seen 500 in 6 months. So they're a pretty good company to use. That's the only one I would really suggest when that have a fee. The only thing about Credit One, while I'm, once again, I'm off the top of my head, I'm dropping this, is that do not, I don't know what algorithm of Experian, because they do use Experian, and which is free on their site, but it's wrong. It's incorrect. It's not the new, it's not FICO 8 or 9. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's very inaccurate. Anywhere from, 40 to 50 to 60, 70 points I've seen on just working with my clients when they go, my Experian is not the same on my Credit One. I go, ignore it, but use the card. It's a good tool. You get credit line increases quickly, generally 3 to 6 months. These other cards, Indigo and many others, people have said they've never got credit line increases. I have not used the card, but my clients that who've had the card, I don't refer people to that card, but some of the clients that have used it say they hardly ever seen credit line increases. But anyway, let me get back to my original point. The client on the car, the difference between the scores. Also, too, let me just say this for Credit Karma. Sometimes the scores might be higher just because things are weighed differently. I've seen Credit Karma scores that were 50, 60 points higher than what the FICO scores say. So then when they go into, and mostly on mortgages, but so people think they're walking in with a 700 score, they pull a FICO score, and guess what? The FICO score is 60, 70 points lower. Folks, go for the accuracy. If you got to spend a little money, spend a little money, especially before you apply for something. Once again, use Credit Karma as an educational tool. Keep up with your stuff, but do not trust the scores. Go to FICO, especially before you walk in and maybe get a little embarrassed on, applying for something. And I've seen it. I saw this story on the news not too long ago. I forget what article it was, Newsweek or CNN, but the guy did that, went to closing, and of course he was following Credit Karma, and sure enough his scores were 50 points off, ended up getting a higher rate. So realize the difference between Credit Karma and FICO. Hopefully you guys got some good information out of this. I do this every day. If you have any questions, please drop me a note. But Tony Hill, Making Sense of Credit. I'm signing off. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like it, comment, and share a video. All right, y'all. Until the next time, I'm going to keep them coming for you. Peace, y'all. Be good.